Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
On April 7th, while many people were still debating whether a celebrity could truly survive in the brutal world of professional motorsport, something quietly happened behind the scenes at the Shanghai International Circuit. Long before the roar of engines filled the track, before the cameras focused on the starting grid, and before the opening race of the new season officially began, Wang Yibo had already stepped into one of the toughest parts of racing that fans rarely get to see: the pre-race physical testing. And what surprised many people was not just the intensity of the training itself, but the attitude behind it. Because this was no longer the image of someone simply enjoying a hobby under the spotlight. This looked like a man preparing for war. In a sport where cockpit temperatures can rise beyond 50 degrees, where reaction speed decides tenths of a second, and where physical endurance can completely change the outcome of a race, every test matters. Every heartbeat matters. Every second matters. What began as a routine physical evaluation quickly became one of the most talked about moments among fans following the China GT opening race. Why? Because people suddenly realized something important. Wang Yibo was not approaching this season like a celebrity trying something new. He was approaching it like someone determined to prove he belonged there. The atmosphere around the circuit that morning felt different. Even before the first official practice session started, teams were already moving with a sense of urgency. Engineers reviewed telemetry reports under the early morning light. Mechanics adjusted suspension settings in silence. And drivers moved between garages with focused expressions hidden beneath caps and helmets. Yet, among all the familiar faces in professional racing, one name continued to attract unusual attention. Not simply because of popularity, but because expectations surrounding car number 85 had become impossible to ignore. People watching from outside often imagine motorsport as glamour, speed, and applause. But inside the paddock, reality is far harsher. Drivers spend hours preparing their bodies long before they touch the steering wheel. Neck strength, breathing control, reaction timing, endurance under heat stress. These are not optional skills. In GT racing, especially during endurance events, physical fatigue can quietly destroy concentration. A single delayed reaction entering a corner at high speed can cost valuable seconds, or worse, end an entire race weekend. That is why the April 7th physical testing session became so meaningful. According to reports circulating among racing media and fans at the circuit, Wang Yibo arrived early, maintaining a calm but focused attitude throughout the evaluation process. There were no dramatic speeches, no exaggerated performances for cameras, just repeated drills, repeated measurements, and repeated attempts to improve. Staff members observing the training noted how seriously he approached every detail, from hydration routines to breathing rhythm control after high-intensity exercises. And perhaps that is what shocked people the most. Because over the past few years, the conversation surrounding Wang Yibo's racing journey has constantly been divided between admiration and doubt. Some praised his commitment. Others questioned whether an actor could genuinely compete in such a demanding environment. Yet, instead of arguing publicly, he continued choosing the same response every season: preparation. Those who followed his earlier races already noticed the progression. Lap times improved, car control became smoother, communication with engineers became more precise. During difficult races, his composure under pressure improved significantly. But this season feels different. There is now a noticeable sense of maturity surrounding his approach to racing, as though he understands more clearly than ever what this world truly demands. And the demands are brutal. Inside a GT3 cockpit, temperatures can climb above 50 degrees Celsius. Drivers experience extreme dehydration during long sessions. Neck muscles absorb constant pressure through high-speed corners. Hands remain tense for nearly every second of the race. Even maintaining mental focus for one uninterrupted hour requires enormous discipline. Many people underestimate how physically exhausting professional racing actually is, because the suffering is often hidden beneath helmets and race suits. That hidden struggle is exactly what this pre-season preparation revealed. Several fans near the circuit shared stories online describing how drivers emerged from training sessions completely drenched in sweat, despite the morning temperature still being relatively mild. One engineer reportedly mentioned that maintaining stable cardiovascular performance during heat simulation exercises had become a key focus for several teams this year due to the increasing competitiveness of the championship. And within that environment, Wang Yibo appeared determined not to fall behind anyone. The significance of this preparation becomes even greater when considering the new partnership forming around the number 85 car. This season, Wang Yibo joins forces with Malaysian professional driver Mao Junhao, creating one of the most discussed combinations in the AM class. On paper, they come from completely different worlds. One built his career under entertainment spotlights. The other earned recognition through years of racing experience and technical discipline. Yet, sometimes, motorsport creates fascinating partnerships precisely because of those differences. Team insiders reportedly spent considerable time refining relay strategies between the two drivers. Their driving rhythms, braking habits, and tyre management approaches all required careful adjustment. Motorsport is not simply about individual speed. It is about trust. Trust that your teammate will protect the car. Trust that strategy calls will be executed properly. Trust that both drivers can maintain consistent pace under pressure. And according to early testing data, that trust may already be developing faster than expected. What impressed many observers was not only the improved lap time performance of the number 85 car, but also the growing stability across longer runs. In endurance racing, consistency often matters more than a single explosive lap. A driver who can repeatedly produce reliable pace while protecting tyres and fuel becomes incredibly valuable over the course of a season. This is where Wang Yibo's evolution becomes especially interesting. In earlier years, much of the public conversation focused on whether he was fast enough. Now, the discussion has started changing towards something more important: whether he can become genuinely dependable within a professional racing environment. That transition represents a major step forward. Speed can attract attention temporarily, but consistency earns respect inside motorsport. And respect in racing is never given easily. The Shanghai International Circuit itself adds another layer of challenge. Famous for its technical complexity, the circuit demands a rare balance between aggression and precision. Drivers attack long straights at extraordinary speeds before immediately transitioning into difficult corner sequences requiring perfect timing and braking discipline. One small mistake entering a corner can destroy momentum through the following section. That is why physical preparation matters so much. During intense braking zones, drivers endure enormous physical pressure through their neck and core muscles. Maintaining steering precision while exhausted becomes one of the defining tests of elite motorsport. Fans watching from television screens may only see smooth, onboard footage, but inside the cockpit, every lap becomes a physical battle against fatigue. And perhaps that is why many fans suddenly began viewing Wang Yibo's journey differently after hearing about these pre-season preparations. Because people admire effort they can feel, not artificial perfection, not polished marketing, real effort. The image of someone repeatedly pushing through exhaustion, reviewing datasheets after training, adjusting physical routines, and preparing quietly before dawn creates a far stronger emotional connection than any glamorous headline ever could. It transforms the story from celebrity news into something far more relatable: the universal desire to improve. There is also another reason this story resonates so strongly online. In recent years, audiences have become increasingly drawn toward people willing to step outside their comfort zones. Many celebrities maintain carefully protected careers. Few voluntarily enter environments where performance can be measured so brutally and publicly. Racing leaves no room for excuses. Lap times do not care about popularity. Results cannot be edited. Improvement must be earned. That reality creates tension, and tension creates compelling storytelling. Every time Wang Yibo enters the circuit, people continue asking the same question in different forms. Can he truly compete? Can he continue improving? Can this new partnership succeed? Yet, instead of directly answering those questions through interviews, he continues allowing the process itself to speak. And maybe that silence is part of why audiences remain so invested. Because viewers are no longer simply watching races, they are watching transformation happen in real time. The difference between this season and previous years is not only technical progress, it is mentality. There is now a visible calmness in the way he approaches preparation, almost as though the need to prove himself has evolved into something more personal. Not proving anything to doubters anymore, but proving something to himself. That emotional shift matters. The strongest sports stories are never just about trophies, they're about growth under pressure, about discipline nobody sees, about continuing forward despite criticism, fatigue, or uncertainty. And, intentionally or not, this racing journey has gradually become one of the most compelling narratives surrounding Wang Yibo's career. Fans have already started speculating about what the opening race might bring. Some believe the number 85 car could surprise people in the AM class if their current trajectory continues. Others remain cautious, pointing out the fierce competition waiting across the grid. Defending champions, experienced endurance specialists, factory-supported programs. This season's field is exceptionally competitive. Nothing will come easily. But perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what makes the story so exciting. Because there is something deeply fascinating about watching people chase improvement in environments where success is never guaranteed. As the opening weekend approaches, anticipation surrounding the number 85 team continues growing rapidly online. Clips from training sessions, garage footage, physical preparation routines, and practice moments have already spread widely across social media platforms. Fans analyze every detail, from body language to lap data, searching for clues about what this season could become. Yet beneath all the excitement, one image continues standing out above everything else. Not the glamorous photos, not the headlines, not even the car itself. It is the image of a man quietly preparing before sunrise, understanding that talent alone is never enough at this level. And perhaps that is why so many people suddenly feel emotionally connected to this journey. Because deep down, everyone understands the feeling of wanting to become better than they were yesterday. Everyone understands the pressure of entering unfamiliar territory while the world watches closely. Everyone understands how difficult it is to continue moving forward when others expect failure. That is why this story works. Not because it is only about racing, but because it is about persistence. As the lights prepare to go green for the new China GT season, one thing has become increasingly clear. Whatever happens next, the number 85 car is no longer being viewed simply as a celebrity talking point. It is now part of one of the most closely followed development stories on the grid. And whether people support him or still hold doubts, they are all watching for the same reason now. They want to see how far this transformation can really go. Thank you so much for watching today's story on Star Watch Now. As the new racing season gets closer, we'll continue following every important update, every emotional moment, and every breakthrough happening both on and off the track. Whether you're here for the motorsport excitement, the inspiring journey behind the scenes, or simply to witness how far determination can take someone under pressure, there is still so much more ahead in this story. The opening race is approaching fast, and something tells me the most unforgettable moments have not even happened yet. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates from the world of entertainment, racing, and the stories everyone will soon be talking about. And as always, thank you for being part of the Star Watch Now community. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video.